Hi everyone, welcome back to ITOM batch 3 day 38. How are you doing guys today?
Yeah, doing good. Yeah. How about you?
I'm also doing good, thank you. Okay, the same thing I ask again, if you have any questions, any doubts from that earlier covered sessions related to event management, anything having any questions and which they want to be. Mastan, your camera is running, so you can close off. Okay, any questions from anyone? Okay, no. So let me share my screen and let's get started this. Let me know once my screen is visible to you guys. Okay,
Yeah.
now the thing is, yesterday we discussed about the how specific event rule we can how the specific event rule we can configure it, right? Now second thing is, that scenario is basically you are receiving an event from source monitoring system, okay, which is again receiving based on the threshold breach whatever they have configured, but you want to convert an event to an alert on a specific threshold if that is breached. Example, the one alert event you received on 70% CPU utilization, okay, but you don't want to use create an alert immediately on 70% utilization, right? So you can also control that particular scenario things in the service now as well. Whenever you are putting event threshold using the event rule, you can control this one. If this particular more than particular CPU utilization is going above, then only alert will be converted specific to severity, right? So in severity warning severity, that can be possible. You received one event, CPU utilization is more than 70%, might be after 10 or 15 minutes you will receive again, because the things are changing, so you will receive 75% is now, then 78%, but still sorry, still that is in below the 80% and within the warning severity, right? But you don't want to create on 71, 72, 5. You want to be create if that is going to be 78% only in warning category, right? So that you can control at your side. So to event to an alert, you can convert based on that. So that we are going to discuss how threshold you can configure basically, right? So if you see what we are doing, we are going to be configure a new event rule. If I just click on the event group, okay, let me see recommended rules. There is one, where it is this, no, this is not, this is not, this is not. Okay, let me configure a different way, no issues. So now let's go and configure in directly, right? We are not able to see the recommended rules, so I thought let's go with that, but no, that's an issue. So I'm going to be configure a new event rule directly from the event rule table. Somehow, I'm not sure is that my issue or ServiceNow issue. It's my instance is running slow a little bit, because I see my internet speed is good, but still that is little slow today. Not sure why, but let's see. Let's go with that. So meanwhile it's loading, but what we are trying to do, we are configuring a event, just putting those informations, and basically you can see in the description what we get: CPU running above 70%, right? So this percentage which we are getting, we are capturing through regex in particular variable or particular attribute, the CPU, right? Once that is done, we can use this particular attribute in event threshold, where we are going to be configure if active is checked, greater create alert operator is greater than field name is CPU, threshold value is 90, occurs is 3, hour is 60, ideal is close alert operator is ideal, and over 120 seconds. Basically, what does that mean? Right? So if my CPU utilization is going to be more than 90% and it occurs 3 times only, and it will ideal for 60 seconds, means we are putting some waiting time as well, then only it's going to be convert and alert. And the same way we are closing for alert, close alert operator as well ideal, and if it is 120 seconds the alert will be open, then close alert, then we are going to close that particular alert. If you see here, the threshold suppress the generation of alert unless more than 3 events occur within 60 seconds. The value of the CPU is 90 and the alert close with when no further event occurred for 120 seconds. Okay, so automatically alert will be closed if no event will be generating within 120 seconds. Basically that we are trying to do, and we are going to be configure, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm just proper configuring those particular rule. Okay, CPU threshold 11.3, PSS script. I think nothing else is required. That's it. Event filter specifically we need to be put. So what they are putting, description contains CPU running above. Type SNDemo, source instance PS. Source instance is PS and classification is IT. I think it looks good. Okay, now let's go here. So we are not doing any changes here, but only just fetching that CPU value from the description field. So what I'm doing here, this is my description. Okay. I'm not using, or I'm not creating the event from there, so that's why the value is not here. Let's do one thing. Let me go here. Configure the event rule from here. Do you understand why I'm not getting the value here? Because I am generating a event directly from event rule table, instead taking the reference of the event from the event rule, right? So that's the reason basically. Let me go do this from this way. PS script, that is done. An event filter, description contains. So that best thing is always just take the reference of event when you are converting or generating an event rule. Basically is SNDemo. So you have basically the raw data available when you are going to be configuring this one.
Ajay, just a one small thing. Can you please come back again on the event that why you are not getting the value over there? I didn't follow it correctly.
Event
Yeah, you said like, because you are,
here, right?
yeah, on the next
So
screen where you were saying like, that why I'm not getting the value over here on the input. So where
this
was
one,
that?
right?
Yeah.
Right. So that is, now you see what I did here in this particular, when I'm going to be configure the event rule, I am going to be configured directly from event rule table, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there no variables, or there is no reference of the event values. If you see description is blank, node is blank, type is blank, everything is blank, right?
Mm-hmm.
But instead of that, if I go to this event which is received related to this CPU running our 70% capacity, and as I mentioned, that sometimes we have to be configure event tool scenario to scenario, use case to use case basis, right? And we can
True.
configure multiple event rules as well, right? The same way I need to be configure the threshold event rule, so I need the values basically, right? So we can configure the event rule using this UI action create event rule. And when we are using creating event rule through the event, we have the values available. So you can see now description is available, node is available, and other things is available for my reference, which I can use further to fetch the informations and populate the values. And I have little visibility which attribute what information is captured basically.
Okay. There would not be anything which is like, pre-filled, like, a very base configuration, event rules, like, pre-filled in a tool.
Hmm. There are a lot. There are a lot
Okay.
event rule which is out of the box available. If I go to leave this page and just to showcase you.
Because usually what happens whenever we have like the new tool configure and all, by default, like, there is a lot of alerts start coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So that is because of like, some already default configuration is already
Right.
there, and then we tweak it.
That's why I always suggest don't go with the out of the box already configure event rule till the time it's not surviving your use case and scenario. Right? If you see, there are 182 event rule already mentioned, right? If I just search for solar veins, there are a lot, right? If I just go for ASCOM, there are a lot, but that's they have configured based on their understanding, based on their particular things, like if it is fallback, logical disk or physical disk binding, whatever, right? So whatever the scenario is coming, based on that alert will be converted. But you should analyze that one before using that out of the box event rule for your events, right? Might be that some information is missing, might be that is not behaving or working like that way which you are looking for, right? So make sure you have verified that one on your dev instance, and then you are going to be configure or moving out to the prod, right? So that my thing, what I'll always say is we can take a reference it, but I'm not taking, because I need to do little extra job to do that, right? I need to be see, I need to be analyze and all. So what I feel, let's disable the all, or automatically I think that's disable. But if it is not, disable the all out of the box event rule. Let's configure my event rule which I look and which I need for specific use case basically. That is save some time of me. I don't want to waste time to analyzing and other things, and sometimes it can be missed. But I know if I'm going to be configure, that will not miss anything.
Yeah, clear. Clear. Thank you.
Okay, now I'm coming back to transform and compose alert and description. You have the values. You can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to be copy, or using this particular value in particular field which we call CPU. Now you can see that's created. You can see here as well the CPU running. So whenever any value coming between above and the capacity, dot star is representing that is in the regex side basically. The CPU will be the value for that, right? So we have captured the CPU as a percentage value in it, right? So that's the same thing they are doing here. Now they are going to be configure the threshold action basically. So if I just quickly go here and coming right. So this is the threshold particular things. This is by default not active. You have to be active for particular scenario basically, right? So what we are doing here, there are a couple of operators, greater than equals to, less than equals to or not equal to, right? So whatever operator you want to use, you can use it. So like let's take an example again, less than equals to means if you are getting any alert between 5% or 10% CPU utilization or 20% CPU utilization, less than or equals to coming to any type of alert, right? Event basically. If you want to convert to an alert based on 3 consecutive events, right? So then you can configure this one, right? If it is equals to, if you see, if for what particular type of event, if the severity is only equals to related to that only, then we have to be convert. So this particular method is also going to be help out to suppress your unwanted events to convert to an alert, right? So what we are going to use, we are going to use here a this particular value greater than, they are selecting the fields. So what field we have to be provided here, where we have captured the percentage value of my CPU, right? So I've captured in CPU what is the threshold value we need to be put. You can see thresholds, they are putting 90, occurs 3. I'm just putting 90, occurs 3 is nothing, but if that more it's greater than, right? If we are getting greater than value 90, and if that comes 3 times, then we are going to be do that over 120 seconds or 60 seconds. So within
Sorry,
60.
Jay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jay. So you are saying like, occurs meaning like, occurrence. If supposedly it is occur thrice, then only it will fire the rule.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Clear.
No, so not fire the event, fire the alert.
Yeah, I mean it will fire the alert.
Right. Till the
The
time it.
moment like it matches the situation which we have configured on the occurrence of three. Once the three is met, and then the next would be like it will send, or it will
Exactly.
send on the third.
Right. Right. Now, so what I'm going to do, I'm just submitting this one. I have submitted this event rule. Now what we have to do, we have to be generate the in navigate this simulation event, upper click. Right now let me go to this to generate a new event using the simulation event generator. But they are in right click, upper generator and advanced generator option, enter 5 and 2. Okay, so what they are putting, number of events how we need to be trigger 5, and number of event interval seconds is 2. Now they have this option basically. So what they are doing, they are triggering the 5 event within 2 seconds of interval. Okay, so we are putting this value here, and okay, and then this, and we just need to see the 5 events will be generated in the event table. If I go here, let's see the 5 events are generated with this 70% CPU utilization. Okay, and let's see what will happen with others, and that all move to the error stage because there is no event rule matched, right? If I go here, oh okay, threshold metric value should be a number that is CPU 70%. Okay, error message we are getting, event rule applied this one, but that's not converted to a value alert, and we are getting the state error, right? If we see here, that is they are showing processed, but we have is there is some mesh we did, it might be no, one moment only. Okay, what I did, let me got it right. So what we did, while we are configuring the event rule, we should not capture the percentage value. So okay, let me go here, come again.
So you're meaning like CPU 70%, which we have taken, that we should not capture?
Yeah, no, we should capture this one. Okay, but we just only capture the 70, not percentage. Okay, so
Okay.
okay, control chat. Let me done this. Let me go again. So we are capturing this. Why it's not capturing? Shit, one moment. Let me cancel this. Let me come back. Reset, reset, reset. Okay, I'm here, not here, right? This CPU. So what I'm going to be captured now, only the, oh, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not done. CPU. Yeah. So we are capturing the numbers, not the percentage. That's why we get an error, right? So I've captured this one. Let me update. Okay, let me do again on this. This is event. Okay, let me close this. Okay, let me go again to simulation. Event generator, add one generator, 5 2 already. Let's go that. Let's see this time. So we received two every 2 seconds of interval. We are receiving 155, 42, 44. Now I think we received, and that's processed, right? This time. Okay, now let's open one alert, one event basically. So if you see, that has been showcasing a processed, but as you know, we mentioned the condition. If it is more than 90%, then it will generate an alert. So it's showcasing a process, but there is no alert generated, right? And you are able to see that event rule applied CPU threshold slab 3.3, which we have just configured here, this one. Okay, so that's doing. Now what we are going to do here, we are generating a event again, right? And using the value again, I'm going to use the different value basically, which is more than 90%, right? Or approx 90%. So that we have done. Now in upper right side, load sample lab 3.3, wait for the filtered list. Okay, let me go to again here. Let me close these things. Okay, let me go to event generator, what they are mentioning in load sample lab 3.3. What they have not mentioned something. Well, CPU uses 3. Okay, shit. CPU uses 3. Okay, in upper right side, click on this. Then now you see just simple thing. What we have did, we have just changed the description, CPU running above 90%, and the same thing we are doing here. I'm just generating the 5 event in number of interval of 2 seconds, right? So let's see again. And basically once that is done, that is going to be processed and convert to an alert, and we can do that, right? So let's see, alerts is generated, this alert is generated basically, and why it's generated, let me open this one, right? So again it's the same event rule is matched, but why? Because we have configured greater than threshold value, which is coming here in the CPU or in the description, right? And only one alert will be generated, right? If the alert is coming continuously, and that's happened with that particular lots of organizations, because events are firing on immediate trigger immediately and immediately, right? So if we have flood of events and we want to be clubbed into a single alert, we should apply the threshold value as well if we are looking for that, right? So if you see here, that's created here. Okay, now this is a CPU, this and everything is done. Now what they are saying, just close the event alerts, basically major, wait for more than 2 minutes and then open the alert and then close. Okay, now let's wait for 2 minutes. Basically what they are trying to say here, one more thing, if alert is opened here, okay, it's open. Now you can see overall event count is 5. You can see the events here as well, the all 5 events. But in the threshold side, we have also put it one more condition. If we are not getting any event within 120 seconds, the alert will be automatically closed if the alert is ideal or event is ideal. So close alert operator is ideal, and if it is 120 seconds, if it is not coming in this particular time, my alert will be automatically closed here. Let's wait for 2 minutes. I think it up going to be happening very soon. Okay, so meanwhile it is running, then we have to be again a threshold. It's a task. If you want to try, guys, at your side, you can try, where you have to be generate the disk space alert basically, and create the custom threshold where you just need to be check these particular things, and you can do it at your side, right? So where what they are doing, again they are doing the same thing here. Close operator is less than, field name is this space, threshold value is 700, occurs in one time only if it is coming then, and if it is ideal for 180 seconds, then you can create it this one, right? So you can do that. Now let's move to the CI binding matching rules. So let's see the alert is closed or not. It's going to be closed. Yeah, let's see. So this alert is closed now with within 120 seconds, because that is ideal for 120 seconds. There is no event is received basically, right? And my services is green again now, right? So that is done. Now let's move to the next things. So event binding with the event rules and the CI field matching. So as I already mentioned to you guys, what's happened basically, out of the box, while you're binding a CI through the event rule, if I go back to here, out of the box there are four fields which is going to be match these CI name, FQD and IP address and MAC address, and out of the box they are taking care about the or they are finding the CI from the CMDB CI hardware table only. So right, whatever child table comes under the hardware table, that can be Windows Server, Linux Server, networks, or whatever it is, right? That will be out of the box map on alert as a configuration item. If a specific event is generated where that not reference of any hardware table CI, then CI will be blank in that case, right? So that's mostly happen for that tables, like you want to generate event for application, right? So application CI will be coming. You want to generate for event for alert for database instances or database, that you need to be override this out of the box binding of the CI, right? Also there are a couple of, like you want to generate event for virtual machines or any specific which CI this is, which not part of the out of the box hardware table, right? So in that case you have to be override the CI binding, and that's we are going to do here. So if it just what they are doing, they are just doing generate. I'm not going to be follow each and everything here. This is, we choose that lab. Okay, this CI is there, generate event. You need to refresh event, locate the event that is open the alert created by this. Configuration item is this. Open service map, click IS7 attribute. This is again this. Create event rule. Okay, now let's go. I think I need to generate that event to be C. One moment, let me go. Lab 3.4 unbound event IIS, right? So I am going here. Event generator, load sample. Yeah, someone raise hand. Meanwhile, yeah, you can ask your question.
Hello, can you hear me?
Sorry?
Yeah, this is Michael. Can you hear me?
Michael, I'm not able to understand what you are asking.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So I actually wanted to ask, is there any general specification or standard for list of items that we can set events on?
Okay, so basically, there is no generic things, but you can follow or you can use the out of the box event rule which is available here. Might be this is your question only, right? So if you want to follow what fields, what need to be mapped with the which things, you can reference the out of the box which is available here. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, and in simple words, if I say, Michael, in you know in I can say what is the process to convert to an event to an alert is very simple, right? What you need to do, what first thing you have to be generate an event from the source monitoring system. Once that is loaded to an event table, you can write an event rule on it, right, based on the conditions, scenarios, or the use case. Once event to an alert is converted, before that you have also do a event field mapping, and once that is done, you can configure the alert management rule on the alert itself to convert that particular event alert to an incident, so the team can take action on it, right? And then you are going to be write some alert correlation rules, which will be the manual correlation rules based on the scenarios or the use case. Second thing, you are going to be configure the maintenance rules, which is you have to be enable the maintenance rules. Basically, if maintenance is running, there is no incident will be generating to that particular time period. And there are some other out of the box correlation rules is running or the grouping is running. You have to be just observe that particular things, right? So all basically your event management in these particular 4 or 5 things, right? But why it's wider? Because the use case and the scenarios are a lot. There are different type of monitoring systems, different type of values you are getting, and different type of event rule, alert management rule, and the configurations you have to be did to convert that event to an actionable alert, and that actionable alert to an actionable incident, basically. So this is generic, basically, which I just mentioned to you, complete event management things. Okay.
So we can generally write on any IT processes or equipment, say database, hardware, software for an organization.
Can you repeat your question once again, Michael?
Yeah, I was saying that the event can be written on any hardware or database. Is not restricted to any particular IT processes.
No. That's not right. So basically, we have different type of monitoring tool which are monitoring the different things, basically, right? So database specific tools like OEM 13C is there, which is going to be monitor the Oracle database. So that will configure on the databases itself, not on the hardware or not on the actual host machine, right? So that's not an issue, basically, but we should tag this particular alert with the correct CIS end of the day, right? So then we can easily to identify ways and what is the impact.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no issues. So what I did, I just let me go down this. Okay, what I did, I just generated one event using these particular informations. They are asking me to open the alert, see the configuration item. If I just go open the alert, you can see configuration item is many available there. And if we click on the open the survey project, open the survey project service map. If I go here and just want to showcase you service operation workspace, here is the impacted thing is survey project application and the application CIS, which I just created for dynamic CI grouping. If I go here, come here, I can close this, close this, close this, go here, survey project is already open. It's checking, yeah. Yeah. So this is basically we have generated an alert on this particular host. This is right, and this is my sorry. Okay. This is my configuration item where I am, right? Shit, yeah, here. So this is my configuration item of this, right? Where this my IS application service is running, right? And this is this is the configuration item, which is connecting to my IIS application service application, and as well as database is also running on it, right? So it's connected. So if my Windows server is impacted, definitely my applications and the database and other things which is running on my machine is also going to be impacted, right? But if my SQL server is impacted or my IIS is service server IIS service is impacted, why we want to showcase the impact on my Windows server, right? So in that case, if we are tagging the correct CI based on the applications or the database, so what will happen? The data impact will be showcased there only, and we can realize that is a database issue, not the host machine issue where the database and the applications are running on it, right? So they just want to showcase this one, right? So if you see this one, they just showcasing this one, right? Now that's done. Now let's go to the event rule and going to be configure the event rule specific for that particular things. Now they ask me to close the alert or not. No. Okay, now event rule recommended rules, and we can go to IS server locked recommended rules. I can configure this one. Why I am going to be refer this IS recommended rules, basically whenever we are generating, whenever there is no alert rule is available, automatically out of the box event rules are triggered, and based on that alert will be converted, right? So if we see the recommended rules which is out of the box there, that's happening with using the AI, so we can modify this particular event rule here. So we just open this one. This we are just putting IS server lock lab hyphen 3.0 IS server lock lab 3.0, I think 3.4 PSS script 100. Okay, now going to the event filter again. What event filter they want, because this is a specific generic scenario where if that information contains, right, then we want to be convert an alert specific to that particular CI, right? So what we are doing here, I'm just going to be do the description. I'm putting this particular conditions that is already there, I can see, but what I need to do, description contains IS server log, right? So if you see the condition which you are able to see is not generic, right? It's specific to that particular alert, right? But anytime when we see any alert received, I'm just putting this one as a IS server logged, right? Then type is SN demo is there. I don't want to node specific things. I'm removing this one. Resource is hosted application minor PSIT 7.5. PSIT version is 7.5. These things is there. Why I put it the version specifically here as a 7.5? Because if this coming value as a 7.5 means that IS particular one is coming as a 7.5, then we are going to be convert, or when then we are only going to be mapped with the correct application CI, right? So that one thing. Now I'm going to in the transpose compose alert. I think version is already created here, but what I need to capture, I need to be capture the name IS 7.5. I again go here, select this particular value and capturing in the name, not the metric name, its name now, right? Yeah, it's up to us, but let's go with that rule only. Let me go. Where is name? I'm not getting the name, anything like that, but let's, yeah. Okay. Now it's again the same thing. Is we will put dot star, which we want to be contained from this particular, description. And oh shit, I just missed it again. Okay, now let me done it. Now it's that particular value is captured in IS 7.5. Okay, now what they want to do here, version and under the classification, you under the classification additional informations, we are getting the name. Now that will be available there. If you see here, that's available here in the additional informations. Okay, now let's go to the blank out the node fields. Let me close and remove the node value, because we don't want to map the node using this particular one, and we are going to be override the default binding, right? So let's go to the binding here, override the default binding. There are two ways basically. One is C identifications. If you put a class specific, like that's for application, right? So from which identifier out of the identifier, say identifications basically means identification rules which is running. If you are capturing any informations like CL port and sys name, running process command and running key, and this one you can put this one and you have to be passed in which field of event that value are coming. If you are matching this one, then it will create and map this particular CI. Otherwise, you can see CI field mapping, CI field matching configuration item rule, and you can provide that information here, right? So what we are doing here, we are going to use the CI field matching with the class of Microsoft IIS Web Server, right? So I'm going to do the is Microsoft IIS Web Server, because that what we have captured here is 7.11. My bad. Where it is? See. Yeah. Oh, okay. Here it is. Let me showcase you here. The name is IIS 7.5 that we have is a IIS Web Server, right? And which is belongs to Microsoft IIS Web Server application. Now, what we do, just need to submit, delete the previous generated alert. Let me submit this one. Why I'm going to be delete? Because I just need to be check once again this particular things to be do that. Let me close first, and then so let me close this. Let me copy the alert number first, and make sure whenever you are doing testing for the alerts, make sure you are sometimes if we are not following these particular things, but I'm just mentioning delete and these particular things, it will create mess ups to you, and you are alert, because if you are passing the same type of alert, that will be mapped to the same type of incident, or sorry, same type of event. If you are passing, that will be merged with the same type of alert basically, right? So we just need to be follow and delete it sometimes to do that particular things. Now what we are doing, we are going to do again unbound event IIS, then from event generator. Let me go here, let me generate this event simulation event generator, load sample. Let me copy the complete name, this. Now that's done. Generate event. Okay, that's generated. Let's see. It's saying no event rule is applied. Okay, that something is wrong. That event rule should be applied with that particular one. So that issues we definitely facing, right? So if we see what is the CI tagged here, let's see. Okay, that is a configuration item tagged here. So what is happened? Why the event rule is not applied? Which, okay, did I submit this one? Yeah. Might be some conditions are missing. But which one I just configured? One moment, let me see. IIS server. Oh, where is my? No, there is no. there is that particular event rule is not saved, I think so. That's why it's no event rule is applied here. Okay, let me see once again. Nagios, no, there is that event rule is not saved by mistake, I think, if I'm not wrong. That's not saved. Okay, let's do one thing. Let me write again this particular event rule. Let's go back to my event. Let's write it from the event itself. So this is my event. Let's create it from here directly. Okay, yeah, the name what I'm going to be put is again following the same things is IIS server lock lab. And don't think I'm following completely this particular the simulation PDF, because I want to follow step by steps. That's why otherwise I can configure whatever the name I want, whatever the filter conditions I want, right? But if I'm not going to be follow this one, it's not an issue with it, right? We can convert based on my understanding conditions as well, right? So that's possible, but I'm just following to be compile, or we can say other conditions in future if we are going to use for this one that's matching with this particular things basically. Yeah, someone raise hand. Yeah, please ask your question.
Yeah, regarding this CI identifier which you shown. So exactly how we are using that in this event tools.
I'm just showcasing this one only.
Okay.
That's somehow that event rule is not worked. That's why I'm just configuring the another event rule. I will repeat once again, no issues. Resource is hosted application. Source instance is PS. Classification IT version 7.5. Okay, now let's go to the transform and compose alert description. So again, let me repeat once again, might be you missed it, guys. So you see this event is generated. In the node, we are getting the host name of the CI, okay, on which my IIS applications or the database is running. But I don't want to tag I don't want to tag my alert with this CI. I want to tag my alert with the application CI because the impact is on my application server. Okay, so what I do, I will capturing the name of the application is something here IS 7.5 in a variable, or you can say simple in the attribute basically. And I'm just putting this one name. It's not capturing this let me see. Yeah, okay, I'm just capturing the value in the name attribute. I'm just saving this one, and once I capture this one, you can see this is also added as additional informations here. $name version, we have already have it, right? Then if I go to the bindings, I just mentioned out of the box that will be happening on the hardware table, these particular 5 fields: name, FQD, and IP address and MAC address. But we can override as well if I just want to map with the correct class, right? So binding will be working on the two rules. One is identification and one is CI field matching. What is identification, right? So if I identification it is, let's take an example of database, right? You have database coming. What are the identifier configured on of the database? So there are two identifiers, serial number and the name and the type. If I select the name and the type, I need to be passed where the name and the type value coming on my event. Might be name type is something or name is something, right? So I need to be mapped that particular values here. If I just put name or if I just put type, right? Based on that particular mapping will be happen. right? Because we are using the C identification. So whatever the value we are getting on event, that will be map or match here, right? If I go to different way, the serial number, so where the serial number value is coming, might be the serial number value is coming on the metric name. So I can select the metric name field here. It's just a mapping, okay? And based on that, these things will be mapped and update on the alert with this correct CI. Second thing is CI field matching, right? CI field matching basically will be working here. We are not doing any mapping, but if any CI configuration item field match with any event one, right? So what we are doing, we are going to be IIS Microsoft IIS web server, because that is IIS web server, right? And we are capturing the value in the name, right? If the value is match, then it will update a correct CI on the alert, right? And let me remove the node from this node value, because I don't want to be populate node as a host name of the my Windows server. Okay, so what I did, I just override the binding using the CI field matching and Microsoft IIS web server. I'm just passing, and once I submit this, I think this time I hope it's saved. So if I just click on IIS, yeah, I can see, oh, yeah, I can say I server log 3.4, right? Now what I need to do, I need to be close this alert and delete that alert, and then need to be trigger again. Let me close this. When you have multiple windows or multiple things open, that will happen most of the time. Okay, now let me delete this alert. If I'm not going to be deleted, my based on my these particular things, event will be tagged with this particular only, and this alert will be reopened. So in that case, my CI will not be updated, right? So let's close. If I go to the all alert table, one moment. Yeah, all alerts are closed. Let's close this. What I'm doing again, I'm just going to be generate the alert again. Let me generate a event directly. Let's see. This is generated. This time we can see the processing nodes and the alert. Yeah, if you see now that my event rule is applied, which we have just configured, and binding alert CI process flow event CI type is this, query will the field name and the version and find one matching, and based on that binding will be done, right? So if I just open this one, this time my configuration item is IIS 7.5. Okay, if I just quickly open this one as well, see, this is my IIS. Now impact is showing on this application CI, not on the host CI where this particular application is running. You can see this one, the alert which is there, right? So it just to the CI binding, override CI binding help to provide or connect the correct CI on the alert basically, right? So everyone can understand the root cause, where the root cause and why this particular service is impacted. Every time if we are connecting the host machine as an impacted CI, that will not work, because you know host machine taken care by the support team of Windows or Linux or whatever the team, but application will be taken care by the application, or database will be taken care by database, and they are not aware about it, that issue from that application or the database. Windows team is struggling to find out the root cause, and investing of couple of hours, then they will reach out to Windows or Linux, or sorry, database, or I can say application team to find out the issue. So that's not the good one, right? So we should provide the correct informations while we are passing this one. So that's we did. It just alert is generated. right? That has been done. And oh, that next is they also configured, they also tried with CI identification using the different thing. I think I already shared this particular things to you guys. It will be good if you can also try at your side how we can use the CI identifications. Like here it's already mentioned they are using this particular filter. They are putting the CI identification on MySQL instance table, and they are using the data directory, install directory, and this particular things where the value is coming on from the event itself, right? Here if you see, this information is coming on the additional informations, right? So you can map those particular fields, put the container level hardware, name is the node, and create the alert, and that will showcasing you here. Okay, so I hope that is clear to you guys. If any questions in the threshold one and the event CI binding, now I'm open to discuss those particular things. Sure, Eklavya, no issues. You can drop off.
Ajay, I have a one question, but probably not that is related to the topic of today's the discussion. But just a quick answer I need. I have seen like the certifications like discovery, event management, and service mapping, and all this, which comes largely under the ITOM.
Yes.
But I have seen like there are courses which is related to CMDB. So is there any kind of a certification also there
Yeah.
on CMDB?
Yeah, CMDB have not CIS certification, but yet I think micro certifications are there. Two certificates for that is one is CMDB, configure CMDB, or one is CMDB health something is there, right? I am aware about that. If
Okay, okay.
not wrong, let me showcase you. I think my learning
So
profile.
those are coming under the micro certification.
Yes, definitely. That's our under micro certifications only. Yeah, see like this. CMDB health and configure the CMDB micro certifications are there.
Okay, got it, got it.
Okay, so
Yes.
you are going with the
Thanks.
configuration management fundamental course, CMDB
Okay,
configuration management fundamental course that is there.
sure, sure, sure. Thanks, Jay. Thank you so very much. I'm dropping off.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no issues. Any other questions from anyone else? So we are done for today, which we have discussed about the event threshold rule and the CI binding rules. If no questions, I think we are good. We'll connect tomorrow at the same time, and let's proceed further for the event field mapping and other things.
Yeah,
Okay.
thanks, Ajay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
thank you.
Thank you guys. Bye bye.